Hello everybody! Today I would like to share with you 10 ideas for dressing up your builds and making things look a little more natural and lived in. So without any further ado, let's get started. We'll start with a mine entrance to cover up those unsightly burial chambers. Using 1 meter beams, I laid a tie centering the first one at the entrance and making it 3 meters long. And then I bring them out as far as I'd like to, using 1 meter spacing. Using a wall as a backer, place signs down as railing along the seam lines in our ties. And add decorative support timbers and lanterns to the crypt opening. You can also make a decorative minecart by placing a 1 meter beam, attaching an item stand on each corner, then using a backer pole, place another 1 meter beam on top of the first one so it sits even with the item stands. And then centering 2 1 by 1 meter floors, I make the floor of the cart and then make the 4 sides with wooden signs. And then attach your 4 bucklers, and you're done. This also works well to dress up troll caves. Okay, our tents are going to start as a 4 by 4 meter box with the front side open. Next we'll attach a 2 meter pole in each corner, and then we'll connect the poles with beams on all 4 sides, and then free place 2 meter beams on top of the first ones to act as backers. Now to start on our tent walls, we'll delete half of the first course of beams, and onto the backers we'll place banders about center on the width of the beam. And then we'll go ahead and replace the original beams, and then repeat on the other side. And after deleting all the temporary backers, we'll add 26-degree wall pieces on the front and back and add roofing of your choice, and your tent is done. And now you have a nice looking decorative campsite as well as a place to hide some portals. And street lamps are some of my favorite outdoor decorations. I like to start with a stone foundation, and marking the center I add a 4 meter darkwood pole, and using a backer I snap a 1 by 1 meter block to the center of the pole, then I trim that out with 1 meter beams. Then I add a darkwood arch piece to the top, followed by a 1 meter pole as a backer, snapping in a 2 meter darkwood beam to that, deleting the backer, and then adding a hanging brazier, followed by 4 circling trophies to make it permanent lighting. And here's a few variations of our street lamp. You could have multiple lights, different styles, use black marble instead. Imagination is the limit with these. And the permanent lighting also works with campfires, as we see here. And this is a way that I've found to make wooden docks weather resistant. Start by placing stone foundations where you want your dock to be, and then lay out your dock with a box made from iron beams, and then fill it in with stone foundations. Next, cover the stone with wooden floor pieces on the top and half walls on the side. Any wooden pieces that is at least 50% touching the stone will not take weather damage now. And it may look a little bit chonky from the side, but your wooden flooring can now weather the storm. And this is my favorite way to dress up the hanging braziers in my interiors. I just attach 8 horizontal item stands around the outside of the brazier, just making sure that the arrow faces the outside. And then I attach deer and gray dwarf shaman trophies around the bottom. It also looks nice with drake trophies. And to make a more realistic smithy, we'll start with a decorative fireplace and add a forge so that the bellows is sticking out the front. And free place a 1x1 floor slightly below the stone block level and fill it with circling trophies. And then finish out the stonework of your fireplace and you have a nice looking and functional forge. And bay windows are one of my favorites. They look nice on the inside and give nice texture to the outside of your build. And using 1 meter beams, I attach one on each corner of the window at a 45-degree angle and connect those with 1 meter beams. Add a 2 meter pole to each corner and fill it all in with crystal. And to make a windowsill, I use 1x1 flooring, and on one side you'll need to delete and replace the 2 beams, changing the overlap so that you can get the same snap point that you did on the other side. And this also looks nice with seating too. And since I spend a lot of time cooking, I like to make my kitchens look lived in. So to make a grill, I put a couple of 1x1 floors sunken below the counter level a little bit, and add circling trophies to those, and cover that with iron cage floors. You can also add some item stands in the front for gas knobs too. Then I like to put some meat on the grill and make a frying pan next to it. I make that by adding an item stand to the front of the grill and then one more slightly behind that one, and then you stack 4 more on top of that one, and on the top stand you place a fried egg on it, a serpent stew on the bottom one, and then a stone axe on the front one, and now it looks like you're cooking steak and eggs for breakfast. And while we're in the kitchen, we can go ahead and add a decorative smoker. It's basically just a wooden box 3 meters tall and 1 meter deep. Add shelves made from iron cage flooring. Place the circling trophies on the bottom shelf and your favorite meats on the others. And then I close it up using wooden shutters. Then I leave one side open on display so that visitors to my build can see what it is. can also use this as a decorative icebox by placing a froster in the bottom instead of serving trophies like this. And our last decorating idea will be a candelabra. Start by placing an iron torch against the wall to gauge the height for your item stands. You want to place your item stand so that it sits on top of the ring on top of the torch. Then you destroy the torch and carry out the item stands to where you want your candelabra, add the candles, and then add a standing torch underneath each of the candles. And if you did the spacing correctly, the torches will snuff themselves out. Now you have a nice ambiance for any wizard study. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing so you won't miss any episodes in the future. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.